with BeeCreative Crafts. Welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how I made this witch's hat wreath. Most of the supplies I'll be using came from Dollar Tree. I don't use the floor wire or the pliers. I grabbed the orange burlap at Walmart and I picked up the Deco poly mesh at a yard sale, but Dollar Tree does carry a smaller roll, or you can find the larger rolls at most craft stores. The faux leather came from Hobby Lobby. Alright, so let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the faux leather here and I'm going to cut it in strips. Alright, this is all of the faux leather. That's the total. That's all that came on this roll. So it's not a lot. Again, like I said, I did get it on sale. So it was regularly $4.99. I only paid about $2.50 for this. This is only going to make one hat. The way I'm going to do it, I'm going to wrap it this way. And I'm going to get as close to the edge as I can, but still leave enough room to where I can fold it over because I'm going to have to glue this. Then I'm going to cut this on an angle going this way, and I'm going to leave about 1/2 inch, and then that's going to leave this angle. Then when I go to cut the second piece, I'm going to start on this end and go this way so that I can get as much use out of this piece of faux leather as possible. Just make a line so that I have somewhere to cut along. I am making my markings on the back side of the faux leather just so it's not seen, even though it will be hidden when I glue it down. Now I'm going to turn this over so that the angle is going in the same direction here. I'm just going to kind of go ahead and overlap these just a little because I'm going to want to be able to glue those together. To be perfect. And then lastly, we should have enough for our bottom section. Again, I'm just wanting to make sure that I have enough room on either side here, just so I can fold it over when we get ready to glue. I'll go ahead and clip this tag. Okay, to glue these pieces down, I'm going to be using Eileen's tacky glue. I thought I had some fabric glue, couldn't find it, so I'm going to use this instead. I'm also going to be using these little miniature clothespins that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. These are not going to stay on it. This is just going to be to hold it in place until the glue dries. Alright, so let's get started gluing. to have it in here. I was going to put a touch of hot glue so that it would glue faster. I may have to go grab that in order for it to hold, to give that glue time to... Just want to see how that's looking. Oh, that's going to make awesome wedges. I do like the way that's going to look though. Definitely could use my hot glue so that will stay down better. It'll have a better grip on it. I definitely don't want it to come undone. I like hot glue for a lot of things. One thing that I'm not crazy about though is I live in the South, so it is still quite hot sometimes, even into October, especially on the front door. So I try not to use a whole lot of hot glue in my wreaths because when that sun comes through the front door, it'll heat up the glue and sometimes the things on my wreaths will fall off. So I try to use an adhesive that will not be affected by the heat. I will use hot glue in it with something else. So since I am going to be using this tacky glue, if I use the hot glue, it's going to go ahead and give it a secure fasten now. And then once the tacky glue has time to dry, then that's going to give it added security so that it should not come apart. Alrighty, y'all, I am back. Y'all didn't even know I was gone, but as I told my friend, I put this in timeout because it was not cooperating with me. Sometimes you just gotta do that. Okay, so this has had a night. I let it dry overnight, and now I can go ahead and remove these, and this has stayed very well now. It's not gonna come undone. The glue has done its job, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull these off. I have plugged in my glue gun here, and we're going to give that a try and see if that works better. I'm still going to use a little bit of the tacky glue as well. As I said before, I just want to make sure it has a little extra, make sure it's extra secure because I do have, and that one is stuck. So y'all can see. And that's the top part of our hat. Just in that faux leather. And again, this is the back side. Can y'all see that? Let's see if the hot glue works better. See which one's next. It's this one. Okay, so I'm just going to place this one here. I wanted to overlap the top just a little. I'm going to put a touch of glue there. Probably should have started at the bottom, but I didn't. Sorry, I know y'all can hear my cat. He's going bananas over there. Okay. Now I am going to go ahead and put glue, some of the Eileen's tacky glue here. I am going to go ahead and put that on like I did yesterday or earlier in the video because, oops, wrong side. But I'm also going to use some hot glue so that it will stay down quicker. Okay, I'm just going to lift this up just a little bit, and I'm going to add some here because I do want that to stick down in the front. I'll leave that. Okay. Alright. Now then, let's grab a couple of these. We're going to see if this hot glue works a little bit better. I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue there. Oh yeah, much better. Much better. Much quicker. Okay. Alright, yeah. So the hot glue is definitely going to work faster. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all this side down as well as this side. And I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue on this side to get it going. Clip it down. And after I get this one, I will come in and show y'all how I add this last piece. Okay, now I'm ready for my last piece. I'm going to go ahead and set my frame on top of it. Now as you can see, this is going to be way too long. I don't need to overlap it quite that much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my marker. You can use whatever kind of marker you have handy. Like I said, we're working on the back side of it, so it's not going to be seen. It's just a guideline, so you'll know where to cut. And I'm going to go ahead and cut or mark this one so that it's right above this section of the frame. The reason I'm doing it here is because I need to be able to put, let me slide this down so y'all can see. I need to be able to attach the brim part of the hat to this wire here. So I need my leather to stop before I get that far. Otherwise I won't be able to access this from the front side to be able to add our mesh. Okay. So I'm just going to slide this back down on here. I am not real concerned as far as how straight it is because it's going to be hidden. So I am just going to use the frame. I'm not going to grab a straight edge or anything. I'm just going to use the frame as my guide, and I'm just going to mark it all the way across so that I know where to cut this off at. Now the scissors do work really well on this faux leather. If you have a rotary cutter, you can also use that as well and a cutting mat. Whichever works best for you. Okay, and you're just going to position it back where you want it. Okay, take my glue here, put it on the underside, just so y'all can see. Move this one out of the way. Maybe not. With this hot glue a while ago, I'm going to show you it works so much faster than just using the Eileen's alone. But I'm going to do this right here so that it will stay tight. Oops, wrong way. Really, I don't need the clips because that glue holds it. Well, I may have waited too long on that one. Oops, too much glue. But the glue holds it. The hot glue does hold it in place. But I'm going to go ahead now and clip it down so that my eyelines, because my eyelines is actually back here. So I'm going to go ahead and clip it. That way it has a chance to adhere. I'm going to spin it around. And take this off. Too bad these little clothespins have come in really handy with this project. I will tell you to be sure to watch. This is a low temp glue gun. Be sure to watch when you're buying your glue sticks because they do make a high and a low, and then they have multi. And a multi, you know, is usable in any size gun. If you have a high temp glue stick, your low temp gun will not be able to melt that glue. Okay, again, we're just going to pull that over. Lay it down. All done. Clip it down so that glue can dry. Okay, let's flip it over here so y'all can see how it's looking. I'll probably take something. I probably should have started from the bottom so that my leather would have overlaid on the top instead of this way, but I think it looks super cute so far. Okay, I'm going to set this aside, let this glue dry, and while that's drying, we're going to get started cutting our mesh. On previous projects, I have used floral wire. Now, with the floral wire, it can get a little hard on your fingers, so I have been seeing a lot of tutorials and they've been using these pipe cleaners. So I'm going to try the pipe cleaners because it just seems to work easier for them, so I'm going to give it a try. But if needed, I've got my floral wire handy so I can go back to it if I need to. Okay, before I get started, I got to add my feet back, which I almost forgot to do. So I'm going to take my ring and I'm going to put it through the center section here and just lay it flat. Now I'm going to take each of the feet here and I'm going to put one in this slot here, and then I'm going to take the other one and put it through this slot here. And then I'm going to take it back up, and then I'm just going to go back through the same slot. And that's just going to secure that in so that it does not fall out. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this side. Go up, then go back down on this side. Now, you will see here that you can see the seam. I don't like that. So, I am going to twist this first. Just give the little leg a twist. And now I'm going to take it back up and through. So that when it lays down, now you get the finished side of both feet. Or both shoes, rather. So I've got the back side of my frame up. So I want the back side of my feet to be up. So I have this up in here. Again, I'm going to pull this up to the table here. I'm going to pull this up so that it's about right here so that I can use this for my hanger. And then I'm just going to add the feet back like I showed you earlier in the video. Now since this is the back side, I want the back side of my foot to be up because this is the back side of the hat. Which means this one is going to have to be twisted. So I'm just going to go up here and I'm just going to turn this fabric here. Again, the reason I'm doing that is because this is the smooth side and I want the seam side up. So just give that a little twist. Go back through here. And then that way my feet will hang. I still may go back and add a hanger on one of these two sections of the wreath instead of using this, if the legs aren't hanging down enough, because I want to, you know, if you're going to go through that and putting the feet on it, you want to be sure you can see that part of it. And once I put the mesh on it, it may cover that up, so I may need to make these a little bit longer. So I'm going to wait until I get the mesh going. Again, I'm going to set this aside so this can finish drying. I just wanted to go back and let y'all know that I did forget to put these legs back on, so before we start adding the mesh, we do need to do that. So now I'm going to set this aside to dry and we'll get started on cutting that mesh. Okay guys, I did not like the way that mesh was looking. So instead of using the mesh, I have switched and I'm going to be using this orange burlap that I picked up last year or year before at Walmart. I didn't like the way this was looking because you could still see the legs through it. Now, I mean, if you attached your legs on this lower rung, it probably wouldn't matter. But since I'm wanting to use this as my hanger, I don't want these legs here showing, this part. So I'm going to switch and I'm going to use this burlap instead. If you like the mesh, feel free to use the mesh. And you know, if you use the mesh without the legs, it would probably be just fine. But since I do have the legs, I'm going to go ahead and keep those on there for now and see how it looks with the burlap. Since I'm switching out to the orange, I'm going to switch and use an orange pipe cleaner to attach it. That way it's not as noticeable and you can't see it as well instead of the black ones. Here's another little something that I'm doing just to show you. I've taken these little clothespins here. I've put the feet about where I think I'm going to want them, and then I've just clipped them into place with my clothespins. And so that it does not slip and slide around, I went ahead and took the pipe cleaner and attached it to this middle bar on the back side. And again, I may move this. I may not like the hanger in that location, and I may want the legs lower, but everything is just temporarily attached for the moment. So all I have to do is just unclick those, and then I can slide it down if I want the legs to be longer. Okay, let's get started making our bundles. What you're going to do is you're going to take your burlap, you're going to measure it out. I'm making mine about 2.5 inches wide. You can make yours as wide as you would like, but I'm doing mine at 2 inches, or 2.5 inches. Measure out your first piece. Now this does not have to be exact. This is one of those projects where it does not matter. I mean, if it comes out, you know, 2 3/4 or 2 1/4, it's okay. Now I use the woven pattern, the woven boxes as my guide, and then I just cut straight across on that. Now I'm going to take my one that I just cut that I know is 2.5 inches, and I'm going to lay it on top of the burlap, get my 2.5 inch mark over here, and then that's how I'm going to cut my second one. And then I'm going to continue that on across until I get all of my strips cut. Now, once I get several of these made, I'm going to take my burlap. Now I took my pipe cleaner and I folded it and I cut it into thirds, which is roughly a 4-inch section. Okay, anyway, we're going to fold our burlap in half lengthwise and grab another piece, and then we're going to stack them on top of each other. You can also do multicolor. That would be really cute, and all the different fall colors. You could do purple, brown, orange. Okay, and then fold it over. Okay, once you get your stack, you're going to take your pipe cleaner. You're going to kind of pin. And wanted to show y'all this little trick that I just discovered. I'm sure I did not invent it. It's just something that I kind of stumbled upon by accident. I want my little bundles to end up looking like this. My first few look like this, where they're laying flat. And I found the magic trick to getting them to stay like this. Okay, so go ahead and fold your burlap like we did earlier. Hopefully y'all can see this. Let me see if I can scooch it over. Take your handy dandy pipe cleaner, put it in the middle, get it centered up. Go ahead and fold it in half. Then pinch your middle together and give it a twist. And then it'll stay like that instead of opening back up flat like this. So I'm going to take these 3 back off so that I can do them this way. And then once I get them on there, then you can open them up and fluff them out. And they won't lay back flat. Yay! Okay, I am almost done. Got this much more to go. And then we'll start assembling. Okay, I have got all of my bundles made. That one roll of burlap made 22 little bundles. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of sort them out, or separate them out based on area. I know I want one here, so the bottom I'm going to need a few, maybe 2 more on the bottom than I'm going to need on the top because it does curve down. So I'm going to separate them out, do one batch of 12, one batch of 10, maybe 9, do one in the middle. Anyway, I'm going to sort them out and then get them going. Okay, but to put it onto the frame, you're going to take your little pipe cleaner V here, and you're just going to go onto the frame here like that, and then you're just going to give it a twist. And that's all there is to it. So easy. Easy peasy. You can start wherever you want on the frame. Here, I'm going to turn it over so you can see it a little bit better. So you go here. Give it a twist. That's not going to go anywhere. After I get it all on there, I'm going to go back and I'll lay these flat. But that's it. Then you add it all the way around, and that will create the brim of your hat. Once you get the burlap on, they will hold the legs in place, and then you can take your clothespins off. Okay, I'll be back after I get all of my bundles added to the frame. Put it here again, then just flip it up. I'm just flipping it up so y'all can see, hopefully. Give that a twist to secure it. Okay, here we are. I've got the burlap all on. I did go ahead and move the legs down from this center bar down to this lower bar because the legs were not hanging down far enough to where they could be seen. So what I'm going to do, since I shifted this down, I'm going to take one of the black pipe cleaners, and I'm just going to attach it here so that it can be hung easily. So I'm going to do that there, or I may put it on this middle one. I'll demonstrate on this one here. I'm just going to take it, do a couple of little twisties, go to the other side, do the same thing, do a little twisty, and then that way it can be hung up on the door. I am not 100% sure that I think it's full enough, so I may go dig in my stash and see if I have any black burlap and just add a little bit of black, or maybe just some neutral burlap, you know, the kind that's this buff color, about the same color as these, just your natural burlap, just to make it a little bit fuller. Now you can buy this burlap, or not this particular burlap, but you can buy burlap at the Dollar Tree. It just comes in smaller rolls. I found that it's cheaper to just go ahead and get it at Walmart, just because you can get a bigger roll. Yes, you can get some at Dollar Tree for $1, but it is it's narrower, it's cut in thinner strips, and it's not as long of a roll. You can also buy burlap at Hobby Lobby. They have theirs on sale quite often. I believe this week it's on sale for 50% off. If it's not on sale, Hobby Lobby does have their daily coupon that you can use. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm going to go look into my stash and see what other colors I have. I may even have some purple that I could add in there. I know I have like an off-white color. Okay, now, I don't know if I'm going to add this or not, but I'm going to cut it open and see. Now this does have glitter on it, which is going to get all over everything. I already know, because that is just the beast of glitter. Y'all, I'm having a tough time getting it open here. There it is. Oh, look at that. So pretty. So glittery. I really like this side. Okay. I'm just going to tuck it down in here. You know what? Or I may just go all over the entire hat. I don't know, y'all. That's cute. I like that a lot. You see it? It is glittery though. But it is cute. So I'm just going to glue that on. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it all over. I was just going to do it as one band, but I really like the way that looks. I think that's really cute. Okay, so I checked my stash and I did not have any black burlap. So what I have decided to do is I'm going to go back to the original deco mesh that I was not a fan of, but I'm going to use it as filler, and it's really blending in well with that. And let me show you why I decided to do that. Look how cool it looks when you add back the glitter. This sparkle here really matches with that nicely. So the way I'm getting these little bundles, I'm taking the mesh and I'm cutting it in 4-inch strips. Then I'm taking my handy dandy little pipe cleaner here, doing it the same as before, just little 4-inch strips, as I did with the burlap. Just take this, fold it in half. Let's see this over. I'm trying to do it where y'all can see. And then I'm just kind of folding it over itself to make a little bundle. Take one of your pipe cleaners, wrap it around the bottom here. Give it a couple of twists to lock it into place. And then I'm just taking it and I'm going into the center. I'm not going from the outside, I'm going into the center. Wherever I think it looks a little like it needs a little fullness added to it. Go into the center and then take your pipe cleaner here and wrap it around the frame. Again, give it 2 or 3 twists. 3 twists kind of locks it into place a little better than just 2. And then that just really adds some fullness into that. Oh, I'm so excited. I hope it looks fabulous when it's done. But I'm really liking the way it's turning out now. I like it better that it's a little bit fuller. Okay, I'm going to get back to it. Oh, if you do not have this, if you like the way the mesh and the shiny kind of blends in with that, you can pick this up at Dollar Tree. I got this the same time I bought this here. It's there right now. If they have not sold out, mine did have this earlier this week. It's made by Crafter Square, and it's just their decorative mesh. But you could use this to fill in as well. And I started to, but since I already had this one open, I decided I would go with the more of the burnt orange because I thought it matched that. But I did consider using this instead because it's really close to the same orange color as the burlap. Me again, just wanted to show y'all how the finished brim looks. I think it turned out so cute. I like it much. I think it looks better when it's full like that. Again, you can just go ahead and get 2 of the rolls of burlap if you don't want to mix in the mesh. I did have the mesh already in my stash from the yard sale that I told y'all about earlier. And this is how much of the roll that I still have left of this mesh. So it did not take a lot of it to add that fullness to it. So I'm still going to do a little bit more fluffing of it. And I've got to add the top, but the spider web up here. But I think it's turning out so cute. Okay, and here is a close-up of the back. I just attached this here using the pipe cleaner. This, as you can see here, I just used hot glue, glued that down, and trimmed it so that it matches the same as with the faux leather. And then here's the hanger that I attached earlier. I just went in and twisted the overlap of the pipe cleaner onto that bar to make it a little more secure. Again, you could move it up here. It just depends on where you're hanging it. Okay, for the spiderweb mesh, I attached it the same way I did the faux leather. I just flipped it over to the back side and I hot glued it down. I did not use any of the eyelines on this. I just used the hot glue. Okay, here is my wreath hanging on my closet door. All complete. I'll zoom in here so y'all can see. See how shiny and pretty that looks? Thank y'all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you'll click that bell for notifications, YouTube will send you an alert on your mobile app anytime I upload a new video. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye!